Hey everybody, Engineer Coffee, welcome back to Mars. Last episode we built this Hab Fab to try to get some modules into the apartment finally. So I've done a little bit of work off camera. I think this is mostly the same. Added a little bit of rotating lights, the label over here on the side. Plank excavator's still chilling out over there, which is cool. Let's see, I did add some stairs up on this side. We had them on the other end, but now we've got it on the front side, so that's good. Got some plumbing up to a refill station and cargo, because I feel like we're going to probably have to manually weld a bit of parts. Either it'll miss or we're going to need to add some subgrids or something, so we'll see how that goes. But here is the big change. Got an airlock in here. Pretty basic, just locker rooms around with some lighting and then our buttons. Cycle the airlock and come on in here. So here's our airlock controls. It's got a tank back there that's filling the tank up, and then this is controlling the actual airlock. Alright, so we'll head up the stairs here. Just a basic shaft. I didn't really feel like spending that much time on it. Alright, here will be the elevator controls for this side of the building. I don't have anything in there yet, but that will look like a control wall on the other side. Alright, and then up here we have the room that we built before. I did put a ceiling and some lights and stuff in. And then over here on this wall will be our controls for the projections. So not exactly sure what we want to control or how much automation we'll do, because everybody's hab is different and they're going to have different little subgrids. So we might have to pause and hand weld. We'll see how that goes. Over here is the same. I believe I put in these consoles, about the only thing different. And then I exchanged out the button panel for a helm. So now we have way more buttons that we can control instead of just the 4. So I think that's good. We also have access to the camera in the base, so now we can watch it with the doors closed, so that's cool. Alright, so we have the doors that'll open when we want to get the hab in and out. We also have our welders to go back and forth, and then turn on and off, obviously, and then these lifting pistons to lift the unit out of the building when we're ready to go. So we're definitely going to have some smarts in here that it unlocks the merge block before these pistons go up. Oh, I'm hitting into those rotating lights. Okay, well, I guess we will move those. I also realize I need a way out of this building. I don't have an airlock anywhere except for that basement, so we're going to have to figure that out at some point. We'll just lose the air in this little tunnel here. Let's see, I'm just going to add a door here real quick. There we go. We'll just add a door right there, so we can go back and forth without losing pressure all the time. So I did make sure the rest of the base is pressurized, so that's why it has the roof up there. So we are green all over. I still don't have any of this done. Like, I've got it all welded up, but none of it is programmed. It doesn't go anywhere. Got the elevators in. None of the buttons work. We'll get there, but it's not on the top of the priority because we have a working elevator on the other side, so I don't really want to rehash what we've already done. Alright, we haven't had any new members in about a month or so, but if you'd like to support the channel, there should be a join button down below. Alright, and make sure you guys are on the Discord. There is a lot of events and other things going on there. There's also some members exclusive channels there for the series, so you can get some behind the scenes, get some input on the next episode. Otherwise, let's go ahead and get started. Alright, the first piece of automation I want to do is control the speed of those pistons on the welder, because they are going to go back slow to make sure everything gets welded, but then to come back to the, front welding spot is going to be really slow if we just reverse it every time. Like, we're in here, and we're just reversing those back. We want those welders to come back way faster than that. One thing I like about this system is I can just disconnect it, and now I've got everything on this grid, and that's the only thing that's showing up. We don't have any power, and that's probably fine. But we can just lock it up, and now we've got everything on the grid. I should probably be doing that more often. I actually really like it, especially for this programming side of things, because now we can go in here and name stuff. Now, I think I had a pretty good speed on these welders. Let's see, the pistons, there we go. Negative 0.1, and this one is at 0.05. Alright, let's just do a set velocity on each one of them. So used to doing set and move, I keep adding the wrong one. Okay, and then our reverse one was a positive. 0.05. Alright, and then to come back in, I guess we just want to go fairly fast. I don't know if one is going to be too fast. We're gonna try it. I'm going to do it half speed, because why not? Then they'll all kind of stop at the same time, which I think will be good. Okay, now instead of having this to do our reversing, let's do our timers. Did I do that wrong? Oh, I certainly did. Well, I got those backwards. I forgot we already retracted it when I was looking at the numbers. I thought that was the extended. So yeah, these should be -1 to come back in, and this one needs to extend out, so that makes sense. It should be 0.5. Okay, so we want to come in. We're coming in fast. That's good. Let's see if we can get into our camera. Well, nothing broke, so we got that going for us. Okay, and then it's extending out slowly to get everything welded up. All right, I added a third timer in here. What I'm going to do with this one is just set the velocity to 0. So we can actually have a stop, and I can get rid of the group. Do a trigger now on the stop, and we should be good. Now we can come in. And go back out whenever we want. We can just stop it. All right, that's a pretty good one right there. And then let's get some safety stuff in here. All right, I'm trying to figure out how to automate the lifting of the Hab out of the unit, but I think we need to go back to what we had with our little speed guys here before we get too far. When it's going out, we can turn on the welders. I'm tempted to just turn on all 6 and then turn them off and then get rid of the group, just so I don't have groups floating around, but yeah, I think I may do that. We're going to toggle each one of these on. I'm going to be able to get rid of the group that way. That way our terminal is not junked up. I wish you could hide groups, but alas, that's not a thing. See, when it goes back in, it's going to turn them off. And then when it stops, it's also going to turn them off. Okay, now we're going to get an event controller in here. All right, I'm going to call this one welder pistons fully out. And what we're going to do is we're going to look for our piston position percentage. I'm going to try to find one of those pistons. There we go. Let's see, we can just pick one of the weld arms. That's fine. Let's just pick the first one. Currently at 0%, that's good, but we want it greater than or equal to... We want it when it's pretty much done. We'll do 95, why not? All right, it may have multiple actions, so I'm going to do 2 timers. Okay, I'm going to make one a true and one a false. Okay, so now with this one, we're just going to do the actions of those 2 timers. When it's true, it's going to trigger the true. When it's false, it'll trigger the false. That'll just make it easier because, you know, your actions here on a event controller only have 1 per page, and so you only get so many. And it makes it hard to see too, because you come in here and you're like, okay, well now I gotta go look at every tab. So timers just make it a whole lot easier. All right, for now we're just gonna have it turn off the welders. We might, you know, add some lights or maybe those rotating lights when we figure out where we want to install them. We'll stop spinning or something. Okay, so that's the only ones I can think of for now for the welding arm. Let's just go ahead and make sure that's working. Okay, we're coming out. We see the red tip on all of them. We stop it. We're good. Start again, they turn back on. Turn off when we're coming back in. Cool. Now we'll just let it extend all the way out and make sure that that trigger is working. And I did 95% because it kind of hits the back wall, so I don't know exactly if it's getting, you know, 100% extension, but we should be well clear of whatever we're welding up by then. All right, here we go. It's extending into the frame. We should see them turn off soon. There we go. Off. Perfect. Very nice. Now it's only going to turn on when we extend them. So I like that a lot. And now we can stop it, we can walk around, get stuff fixed up, and then start up the process again with 1 button. Okay, that takes care of that. Now we need a way to get it out of the Hab, but we don't want it to automate. Like, I don't want it to be when that thing gets to the back wall that it lifts the thing up, because we might have to do some hand welding or putting in some subgrids or whatever. So that's not going to be a thing. All right, so I think this one's going to be another, like, sequence of timers. All right, so that controls the welder arm. Let's have one over here for the lifting mechanism. All right, we're going to need 1 timer to lift the struts up to the bottom of the Hab instead of being flush with the floor. And then once it gets there, it's going to need to disconnect the merge block so the thing can fall on top of it and move up. It could probably do that at the same time. And then it'll just get up to the top, and then we'll want to have a way to reset or retract what we're doing. Let's see, this one could probably open the door. Yeah, this one will open up the door to the Hab, then it'll wait to unmerge, it'll get to the top. Then we just need the ability to retract the legs once the things are on there. I think it's just going to be 1 more timer. Let's go over here and time this real quick. Let's get into our little camera so we can see. All right, so one thing we're going to have to add to the event controller that we just built, for this guy being all the way to the back wall, is it turns on and off that timer that we just created for these struts, because we don't want the struts lifted up while the welding arm is in the way. Okay, we got our overhead door pistons there, and we have our Hab lifters there. Okay, we'll extend these guys out. They do extend kind of slow, so it might not work as nicely as I think. Okay, yeah, the speed is going to be too slow. I can't extend this and get these guys to come down at the same time. So we'll have to have another timer to wait for these to clear before we start closing the door, so we don't have any conflicts. That is easy enough. We'll just have 4 timers, and we'll just, if we need more, we can extend them out this way, so we'll have this the going up and that the going back down. That'll be easy enough. Oh, that was a mistake. I left the door closed. Okay. Do I have control access around here anywhere? I might need a little secret button panel back here or something. Of course, when we get a Hab in there, I can't get to it. All right, let's project this guy. I've got Ager's build and deliver in here. Hope these guys don't conflict with some of you guys that have plates on the bottom. Hope those will still weld up and project. This is a subgrid, so it should be okay. We'll find out. Okay, so there's 2 pistons, so whatever we come up with for the height, that needs to be half of that. Okay, so large grid pistons, they stick out of the ground 0.16, so we should be 0.32 above the plate here, and we need to go up 2.5 to get to full height. All right, in theory we want to go up to 2.5 meters, but we're already taking up 0.32 of space, so that puts it at 2.18, and we could probably shave that off a little bit just so it's not exact. But we also want to divide that in half. So in theory, we're looking at 1.09 for each of them. Let's just do 1.08 to give a little bit of a buffer. Okay, math. So our first one up, I guess on this one, do we want to do all of these individually or use the group? I think I'm going to do all of them individually because I'm going to be pedantic about it. All right, the nice thing is it remembers where we are. If you're setting it while the piston is in the position, it remembers it here when you do a set distance, so that's really nice. It doesn't remember the speed, so you have to change that. But just remember that first number is pretty nice. So now we just got to do our speeds, and I'm going to do each one of these just so I can get rid of the group, because we have so many blocks on this grid. Okay, let's reverse those guys back down and let's time it real quick. It's only like 4 seconds, so the other timer up could probably be like a 5-second delay, maybe 4. Okay, well, we'll probably have lights and other things in there, but that's fine. This one's going to be a trigger now, probably. I don't know, we'll worry about the delay on that one later. This one will be 5 seconds, and then for the actions, we want to get the merge block. We want to make sure that merge block is off. All right, and then we want to set and move all of those pistons to 10. And that'll start lifting that up, and then I realize we need to go back in here to this first one. We'll go to page 3, and we need to get those pistons for the doors to extend out. All right, for these ones, we just need to extend them. That's pretty easy. Let's come back in here to page 1 just so it's easier to find. We're going to do the up timer. We need to start that one once we trigger the first. All right, so we just need to do the Hab Lifter 1. Let's do a start on it. I think it only has a 1-second delay. Okay, we're in the closed state. Let's go ahead and give number 5 a trigger here. There we go. Doors are opening. It's up to there. We're going to be well clear of those doors being on. Before that guy starts extending up. We might want to wait just a little bit longer, actually. Let's do like 7 seconds on that, just to make sure the door is fully open before a Hab starts coming up, because I don't really want to have it conflict and bump into it, so that's fine. Okay, then down here, all we need to do is get our Hab Lifter pistons. We're going to just have those go down, set, and move to 0. We can probably go pretty fast. I wonder if we could do a 1. Okay, well, that's a lot of things to put in there, but it's worth it to me to not have the groups, but that's my own little tick there, I guess. And then we just want to start number 2, and then number 2 should just really be shutting the doors. All right, let's go ahead and put the reversing pistons on the doors there on number 7, just so we can extend it back out if we need to, if it's not enough time. Let's go ahead and give number 6 a trigger. Oh, that's more than enough time. We could probably back that off. All right, there we go. I got 3 blocks on there. That'll be the height of the Hab. Let's make sure it clears, the doors are open before it starts moving up. Let's try number 5 again. Looks like the doors are going to be plenty clear before the unit lifts up. That's good. Okay, we're going to come in here to our welder piston, the event controller. We're going to come in here to our false actions. So when it's not fully out, we want to make sure that that timer that we just created is off. We don't want it to lift up, so we're going to make sure that is off. Then we can go into the true and turn it back on. Now this guy is in. We should have that event controller tripped. Now if we go into that timer... All right, well, I just noticed a problem with these connector points. If I disconnect now, this event controller will forget what it's attached to, what block it's attached to. I noticed on the other event controller, this one down here, it doesn't have a selected block anymore. So once this guy's connected, I can't disconnect it. So as much as the naming thing would have been nice, that doesn't work. All right, this one we're going to do another piston position. We're going to use the Hab Lifter pistons, and we're going to look for it coming down to 0. Just add the one in there we want equal to or less than. And let's give a little bit of a buffer. Alright, so when they're fully retracted, we want to be able to have this guy turn on. Otherwise, when it's false, we want it to turn off, that we can't retract that piston and run into our hab lifters. Alright, perfect. I got an event controller in here to block the pistons from coming back, so the welders are not going to try to retract as many times as I try to hit number 3 here until those lifting pistons are back down. So let's make sure that works on both ends. Retracts quickly. You see the doors start closing. Still got that little bit of an issue where we're catching on certain things. Alright, we're fully retracted. These guys can come back in. And now if I try to hit number 5, it won't do anything because the welders are in the way. Perfect. Alright, well, I think that's enough safety control stuff for now. Let's go ahead and get a blueprint on here and start getting it welded up, and then let's go work on a ship to put these guys in. I don't know exactly what I want to do yet, but let's at least just make a temporary ship so we can start getting some of them in here. I've got Ager's one loaded up here, so we might as well go with it. Okay, we'll turn that guy on, and then we'll just hit number 1, and we should start welding up. Did make a ton of material, so hopefully we got enough and we're not missing anything. And hopefully that's not moving too fast. That's moving too fast, isn't it? Well, it's not even getting the object. I thought surely that would hit that. Okay, well I guess I need to add welders in here. I really thought that would have hit that. Okay, that's fine. Alright, surely that's enough, and don't call me Shirley. Let's give it a try. Alright. Projector is on. Merge block is on. This should work. Why is that not working? I don't think it's plumbed up at all. I think that's my problem. I plumbed up everything to here except for the damn piston down below. There's nothing behind here. Yeah. I forgot I need to dig a hole there and get to our plumbing. Oh, that's fun. We got dirt showing through there. I guess I'll come down there and over. Will probably be the best route. We'll just come like on the back side of it so we don't, you know, screw up those blocks. I think that'll work. There's our oxygen tank for our airlock, so we should be good on this side of it. Well, let's see, we want to come, yeah, down to that level, so we'll just come down another one. Is B gonna work? Yep, okay. Sometimes this local grid works, sometimes not, because I have so many different little subgrids and stuff. There we go. Green lights. Now we can cover this hole back up. Alright, let's go ahead and give this one a shot. I guess we'll just keep the extra welders. Probably didn't need them, but it'll weld stuff up faster, I guess. Yeah, we're missing stuff. Or is that going to even weld up? My stairs in the way? Well, it seems to be welding all this stuff up. That's good. We'll face this way so we don't strobe everybody to death. Just some of these corners. Oh, it is. It's because that block is there to hold on the stairs. So that's not going to work. Alright, well, it looks like I got everything on this guy. That's good. Let's go ahead and take a look on the inside. I missed a few blocks here and there. Or, well, it missed the railing, and other than that, it looks pretty good. I mean, I know it's missing the robot. Let's get that guy locked, and then let's get the blueprint. I did take a little blueprint of the robot. Yeah, there we go. VIX is what I called him. Well, he had the connector facing the other way, but that's alright. We'll just deal with it. Maybe we'll put a cap or something on there. Alright, I know it's not going to work because it is on a different grid, but I at least want to just see it, what we need to have in here. Okay, there he is lined up. Actually, we could probably just connect off of this and start welding it up, and then we'll, you know, like connect it up later. Alright, the hinge can't occupy the same space because it's on the same grid, so let's go ahead and cut it free. I got a landing gear on the floor. Oh, didn't like that. Right, there we go. We got our hinge part added, and now we should be able to attach it, if I can select the right part. There we go. Attach. Good. Okay, now I'm stuck in the desk. There we go. Okay, well, it didn't follow the floor, so we got that going for us. Yeah, I was afraid of that, though. It's losing all of its functionality here, so that was for the broadcast controller. Alright, there we go. We got that working. It doesn't want to follow us, though. I don't know how you were doing that. Was that with, like, with the AI block? Can you do that? We got this guy working. Let's go ahead and see if our lifting mechanism works. And it doesn't fall to the ground. Let's see, we can close our door to give it a full test. Okay, door is closed. The welders should be all the way on the back wall. They are. Alright, let's go ahead and push number 5 and hope that it works. Okay, there we go. It came up to the bottom. Oh, well that didn't work at all. Why did that not disconnect? Alright, well that was fun. It was definitely because this guy is a station and it needs to be converted. So even though it's off the merge block, it's not in a voxel, it should convert, but the game doesn't really care because I think it's too close to these other blocks. So definitely a problem there. But we'll just have this strut come up to the bottom of the base here, and then we're going to have to manually disconnect and convert and do all that stuff before we tell it to go upward. So over here, I did add a sensor. So this guy is going to stop when we tell it to retract. Let's go ahead and turn it on. You can see, nope. Let's turn on the sensor field range, perhaps. There we go. So now if the thing is retracting and it detects this block here, it's going to stop. So that is good there. So we're not going to crash into it as we retract. But what I'm thinking is when we fully come out here with that event controller, let's go ahead and have those struts come up to the bottom there. Okay, for the welder piston fully out, let's go in here and add some actions. And since we already have it, let's just go ahead and trigger this timer to go up to the module. All right, and then this one up to the module, we went ahead and took off the other timer to trigger up to the top, so it's not waiting time to do that. All right, so instead we're going to trigger the to the top ourselves. So once it's done, this guy should lift up to the module and then stop, and then we will manually do this one. So there shouldn't be any actions or anything on this one. No. All right, well, apparently OBS crashed somewhere in there, but what had happened was, I don't know exactly where we left off, so we'll just kind of recap some stuff. I redid the mechanism on here, so now it's just going to lift up to the bottom of the module here. Then we will have to go manually turn off the merge block and convert this guy to a station. Then we can go ahead and lift it up. So then I also increased the timer here so the doors won't close as quickly in case we want to drop this whole guy back down into the ground. That will work. And then the sensors and stuff will turn off the right timers. So now we can't retract that welding arm when it's in, and we can't push it up to the top when the welders are retracted back here. So I think we are good. Now, over here, I built the worst ship that I've ever built. It is literally just the bare bones. I just want to get some modules in here, so I'm not looking to make anything terribly fancy. I was thinking, you know, having something attached to the arms here and push it in would be really cool. But I don't really want to waste a whole episode just building a ship. So I've got this really basic, I don't know what it is. Just got some thrusters in all directions, got a gyroscope, little cockpit here, and then it merges onto the back wall there. So now it has a permanent parking spot. So I think I've got everything welded up, and I hope this is enough thrusters. It should be 8 in the up direction, and then I've got just some small thrusters on the sides and the front and back, so it's not gonna, you know, make any speed records, but that is totally fine. So now I just need to put some corridors in here, and then it'll be airtight, and we can get to it from inside the base, and I think that'll be good. So I think I've got everything on here. I don't really care about, you know, like AI or remote or even an antenna at this point. It just needs to cling on, push it in, and I think we're good. I got a little bit of a buffer here, hopefully, that this will break, if anything. So hopefully the ship won't crash when we try to merge it in. We will see how that goes. Let's get a corridor with a light, and then there should be a corridor with a window, right? Yeah, the double window. There we go. And then this guy needs to be a 4-way. Alright, sweet, we're airtight. Now we can go back and forth between it and the ship. Let's change the lighting, and then let's get out of here. Alright, let's turn our batteries back onto auto here. Let's unmerge. That's good. And then I feel like we're probably going to be a station or something. Yep, convert to ship. Alright, my sim speed kind of tanked there, but I think we're good now. Let me go ahead and grab this guy. There we go. We're on. This guy's got to go to the other side. Guess I should have put some lights on here. That might have been a good plan. Our batteries are fully charged and we've got 2 hours of flight, so I think we're good. And it's really not pushing the battery power to lift this guy up, so that's going to be good news. Definitely not going to make any speed records, but I'm okay with that. Now the challenge is going to be getting it in here. And not breaking anything. It's kind of nice having the creative world with damage off, so we'll see how I do here. Camera system might be nice, huh? Alright, I'm going to go ahead and drop it there, and then we're going to try to push it in the rest of the way and see if that will merge without busting our ship up. Alright, for some reason this guy isn't wanting to merge. Let's go over here. Is our merge block on? Our merge block should be on, right? Okay, merge block is on both accounts. Looks like we just need to push it in a little bit further. Let's go ahead and grab it again. Go ahead and push it. There we go. Push it into place. That way I don't have to worry about this guy spazzing out when it merges on. Alright, perfect. Let's go ahead and take a look. Actually, we can just drop this guy down to the floor. Let's just put him there for now, and let's go inspect to see if I damaged anything on the way in. I think I was pretty gentle. Okay, bottom looks good. Top looks good. Alright, well that was a little bit more successful than I was expecting. Yeah, cool. Alright, awesome. We got our first module in here. I will do the other ones in order, but I definitely wanted to get Eggers in there, so let's go inside and take a look at it. Definitely need more airlocks on this base. Let's definitely have some outside connections. Well, we'll pretend the elevator works on this side. And then we'll go down our tunnel. Okay, there we go. We got the build and deliver lobby, and then we have a pressurized area over here, so we should be able to open this door. And we didn't lose any air. Perfect. There we go. And we have the Volsig Industry module. Love it. Somebody was saying that I should put a sensor out here to turn off these projection tables, and that is probably a good idea to make sure that these aren't taking up a whole bunch of CPU for no reason. So let's go ahead and put a sensor up here on the ceiling. We need some cargo access around here. Oh yeah, we should connect our lock there. I want to make sure that those aren't yours for parking. Nope. Well, that's weird that that is red. I'm not really sure the reason for that. Everything is connected, everything's merged. Okay, doesn't like us there either. Well, he got a little off-centered when he got merged on. I was a little worried about that. Tends to happen when the thing glitches out. Why is this offline, though? That's offline, but this is fine. Alright, somehow I have broken my air tightness on this world. It doesn't matter? It's not on or off? I don't understand what's going on here. Just merge that guy on and now all my vents are broken. That's weird. I wonder if it's a world setting? Like, what happened there? Alright, well, it's fixed now. I actually did like a whole restart of the computer and a restart of the game, and it's working now, so I think we're good. We'll have to watch it every time we, I guess, merge a module onto our apartment. But let's go ahead and set up this sensor, and then I think we're going to call it. So let's go ahead and show this guy on the HUD. We have their sensor field range, so let's just have it big enough. Actually, that's a pretty good range there. We just need to go back far enough to catch the VIX module here. I don't know, is 20 enough? No, not really. We need to come even further than that. Yeah, let's extend it out to like 30. We only really need to go to like the front of the counter. Yeah, that's pretty good. We just need to go a little bit wider. I think our width is really going to come from here, right? About the same width, aren't they? What, like 7's enough? Yeah, that'll work. Okay, yeah, I like that. That'll be good. And then when we walk into range, it'll have the projector tables on. Out of range, it won't. So let's go ahead and set that up. On, off, and we should be good. Now it's on. Now we're off. Good deal. Let's make sure our audible is off. I don't want to hear that tick every time we go into it. And it's just detecting players. That's good. It doesn't really matter. We're not going to have any enemies here, but sure. Alright, I think we're good. Oh yeah, there's definitely a lag when I walk into the range, but that's alright. Alright, well I was hoping to get a lot more done in this episode, but a lot of technical difficulties, and we broke a lot of stuff, but we got our first module in, so hopefully we can get a lot more done next week. So I'm going to go ahead and call it here. Please like and subscribe, and I will see you guys later.